good to have you here. It's good to see you again.
I'm very pleased to be here.
Nice. But you know, today is Ghana Jollof that's winning because I'm in the interviewing seat.
Exactly. I'll give it to you.
You give it to me.
In Nigeria, in Africa, I'll tell you a little bit about a specific meal we eat. It's called jollof rice, and it actually originated from Senegal. Now, the Senegalese are quiet. Now, the Nigerians have stomped all over it. The Ghanaians are trailing behind. Yes, they are. And so there's this fight that keeps going on back and forth. Who has the best jollof? Meanwhile, the guys that started it are not even talking. But they're not talking because Nigeria has the best.
I like the way she ended that. Round of applause. I'll give it to her. All right, so let's just get straight into it. You know, how do we market our African film brand?
I'm very happy I'm the one speaking to this topic today, because it's something I'm very passionate about, and I've been on this film journey for quite a while. I've been very slow about it because I'm very intentional about what I'm trying to do. And so talking about the brand today is first to understand what the brand is. So I'm speaking to you as a non-African or an African who is interested in coming to the film industry and understanding the brand. In Africa, it's a mix of different cultures. You have the South African culture, very different from the Nigerian culture, very different from the Senegalese, and so forth, and you know. But in all of this, we also have our similarities that make us really unique. So if you're coming in to understand what the project is about, or what the brand really is about, you have to understand the culture too. And in selling our brand, it would look like the Nigerian film industry, because they started and they're very intentional about what they do. They've sold a lot of our culture to the rest of Africa and now out. And slowly the rest of Africa is doing the same. So talking about jollof rice, we've had movies on that.
Yes.
So I mean, a lot of people who have the interest will know about that and also understand that there are differences, yet somewhat of the same. So the first thing about our brand is also understanding the similarities and also the difference that keeps us together.
Thank you very much. But why is there a need for this though?
Well, I find in my travels and just continuously talking to everybody that matters or wants to see this grow or wants to be part of the African brand, there's a strong need for it right now because there's a movement. If you go to America, the Black Americans they are at the point where they want to know who they are, where I'm from. I'm African, so what is it about Africa? You go to Colombia, 40% of Colombians are black, and right now they're asking all those questions. You go to Brazil, 60% of 140 million people are blacks. So there's a strong need to go home, to understand your roots even. That's one thing. The other side of this brand and why people really are looking in is that I'd like to call them they call us the third world, so I guess they're the first world. So they have retold and recycled their stories over and over and over. So they're coming to us now for those stories. We have tons of it. That is another thing. The curiosity also picks from the Afrobeat. The Afrobeat has traveled worldwide, and so people are now interested. They want to know more. So music has also pushed that curiosity to also look into the brand.
Right.
So there are different things that make that brand, I won't even say sellable, just the interest for now.
Interest, right.
Right.
So basically what you're saying, that the world has an appetite for the African brand. And I think music is, like you rightfully said, is really leading in that direction. Collaborations like Wizkid and Justin Bieber,
Yes.
you know. But I feel like we are lacking behind our industry, which is the film industry.
So Are we lacking? Of course, we're lacking behind because, first of all, we have the issues of infrastructure, we have the issues of upscaling our craft, and we have the huge issues of financing. So with these three things, you would understand why we have the drawback. But what we have that is in huge quantity is the creative skills. I feel like the talent is just there. It's raw talent, and it's amazing. Amazon was at the festival last year in Nigeria, and one thing they said was, in meeting so many people, they were there for 2 weeks, just scheduling and talking to so many people. They said when they were in the Middle East, they had all the equipment and they had all the upscale for the technicalities and no skills. But in Nigeria or Africa, because they went to South Africa and they're still going, there was just mad talent to be harvested everywhere.
Absolutely. So we do have it.
We do have it.
Okay. Thank you very much. So you highlighted on the reason why, because I asked the question why, and then in moving forward. But let's talk more about funding, the financial aspect. Definitely. Are we ready as a brand for people for partnerships or partners to come and invest in us?
I think this is the time where we're most ready, because we've played around we've been on the fringes, just trying hard to break in, to push in. This is the time. The stories are rich, they're there. People have grown their craft themselves. The investors are looking in. They've done the first trial, which is Black Panther. They saw the appetite for it. Now, Black Panther was done on a global scale. Then Amazon acquired Coming to America too. Until today, at least the last time I spoke to the director of marketing, it was the most watched on their platform. So there is that thing. I mean, we're ready. The investors are looking in, and they have data now. They have things to look at and say, okay, if we could do it this way, then we would rip this up, because at the end of the day, it's all about profits, really.
Right.
So we're there. I believe we're there. I'm getting a lot of calls, I must say. And so I know that this is our time. This is the time for Africa to move in that direction. There's a huge appetite for co-productions. They also understand from what they've done in Coming to America too. They had Davido on it. Davido is a big Afrobeat musician, and that triggered African numbers like crazy. So just having him on the platform, on that movie for like 5 minutes could do that. So now they know they're looking at the different aspects of film, because film is just not about film. I mean, there's music to it, there's culture, there's a lot. So they're gradually going in, and I feel like now they want to just dip in. So yeah, there are a lot of investors coming in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what is running through my mind right now, I'm sure a few of you, is, how prepared are we? Because we need to be very prepared, for them coming in. And I can relate to this because of, you kept on mentioning coming to America. Yeah. I have a film called Coming to Africa. Yes. Which, it sounds cliche, but we had to do it, called Coming to Africa, which we shot in 2019 with a co-production. So my director is from Memphis, Tennessee in the United States, and this is a production that we have been talking about for a couple of years, for more than 10 years. And then eventually we were given the opportunity to make it work. My experience from that is, there are, like you rightfully said, there are a lot of production houses out there who really want to come in, but because they were blown away, the way the reception, the hospitality, everything, because it was a bit of a culture shock and it's a new experience. So you are, it's a win-win situation, right? Because you learn about yourself, at the same time you're sharing your skills, your passion, and that I think is we need more of that, like you rightfully said. So the time is right. Africa is our time, and you think we're ready from what you just said, right?
So we're ready in terms of being ready.
Right.
We have the passion, we have the talent, but we're not ready in terms of infrastructure at all. We're not ready in terms of upscaling. So our craft has remained at a certain level where we're comfortable. We think that's the best, right? But we're not even there yet. And we don't know we're not there yet. So in having the platforms come in, and they realized for what we want to bring to Africa, we don't have enough talent trained. So everybody's thinking, how do I train? How do I upskill? So I'll say something. In Africa, when your elder comes into a room, you have to recognize your elder. And my boss just walked into the room from Nigeria. So I'm greeting you. Yes. So yes, we're not ready in terms of infrastructure and upscaling our craft. But we're there because we're passionate. The talent is raw. The stories are limitless. But in terms of telling the story, even we're not very good at it. We need to tell the stories where the global stage understands and accepts it. If we need to get on to the next level, and so there are a couple people working towards that. Even the platforms are working towards that actively, and so I believe we would get there pretty soon. Okay. Because all these things are in place to help upscale the craft.
Thank you very much. Well, before you leave, there's one important thing that I'm very passionate about, being a female leading voice in the film industry. How challenging has that been for you, in a nutshell?
It's been very challenging, I must say. And again, on the flip side of it, not so challenging. In Nigeria in particular, the women are very strong. The women are leading, if I must say, yeah. Okay. And so we let the men lead for a bit, just because we wanted them to go out and kind of, let us know where the, what are they called? When you have those mines. Yeah, so when they go off, we know where not to go. Yeah. And so the women have taken over and are doing pretty good. We have the head of the NFVCB, the DJ in the room, and he's extremely supportive. It would look like he's only supporting the women. And so that's great. I mean, he's here in Cannes. He left Nigeria. Very few people in Nigeria even understand to do those kind of trips and be part of it. But for me, in trying to have a reputable film festival of sorts, it was pretty difficult in the beginning because, first of all, you're the first female doing it. And so all the men are like not trying to let you in. But like I said, in Nigeria, I find the women are very strong. I wasn't looking to the men to help me. So I don't know what the issue was. In fact, once I heard they had a huge meeting and how they were going to stop me from doing this, that, and the other. It really didn't matter because they were not my primary audience. Right. And I knew where to go to get basically, if you have the finance and you have the discipline, you have to have discipline in knowing how to use other people's money. That's another thing. And I find that women are more disciplined in that direction. So yeah, my difficulty was just in the men really trying to stop me and in raising finance. But once you could get past that, show your credibility and just your tenacity, it begins to flow. And another aspect, because we have so many women in Nigeria, especially in high positions, and they all fought for these positions, by the way, it's easier to pull other people up. I have a training attached to the festival, and at some point, the Ford Foundation joined, so I could upskill the women from like 20% to like 50% in training, and now it's like 60%. So you have different groups that would come in to say, how do we do this? How do we do better? Then now the head of Forbes Afrique is female. We have women in media and stuff that help us make it easier. Absolutely. I find there's a program I was on during COVID, and it was online, but it was in Dubai, and I was the only person with a very positive female story. I actually tried to get some like really hard stories we've gone through. We don't have that. We don't have too much of that. So in our region, where very many women doing well, and they just need to understand that this industry is more for us. I guess it happened in Nigeria especially because we have oil, and so with oil there was so much money, and so the men dominated that area, and so they left us with this because nobody thought it was anything. And before we could say Jack, we owned the whole thing. Yeah.
Thank you. The women are running. You're running the industry.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And what about collaborations? I'm sure you're already doing some of that, with other women in the industries as well. But before you leave, just one last. Before you leave us, what is your message? We have a lot of people in the room. One last message before you leave.
The message I have is for the foreigners in the room and anybody who wants to be part of the industry in Africa. First of all, understanding the culture is very, very important. Knowing that you have to upscale is also really important. And knowing that they need a lot of finance is also important. The Nigerian, I always speak Nigerian because I raised money not too long ago, and it was not 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars for the industry. So we do have Nigerians that have a lot of money that are looking in and would be part of this if they understand it better.
Okay.
So in terms of co-production, don't imagine that you'd be the only one bringing out the money. No, there are a few people that have been able to raise money and waiting for the bigger opportunities to spend this money, knowing that you'll be making a global scale movie or TV series that will be accepted and then sold at a premium. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chioma.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.